I just think it's a wider access to an audience and a different kind of medium to tell jokes. It can get confusing because cartoons were so traditionally aimed at kids. The idea of tapping into something nostalgic for the viewer while giving a more adult perspective on a comedic trope. But the leaders, I think, you know, even the Flintstones was a primetime animated show, even though it didn't have adult content. And I think that's more a product of the time itself, what types of jokes or language was being used on television. By the time you get something like The Simpsons, it's just pushing boundaries. You remember that culture reacted very strongly to the child in this family saying something as violent as "eat my shorts,"
right.
And how that's just sort of evolved, you know, with the audience's understanding of storytelling. But I don't know who the real pioneers were, and we were
maybe Johnny
lucky.
Quest. Even when I look way back,
yeah.
It was the first time that they had more. I can't say adult stories, but at least they were more
mature,
thriller, yeah, stuff like that. Who put you onto that at first, or did you think I can do this, or did you have a good agent? Because now that I hear your voice, I think that would work on so many levels. But where's that start? Where's that hatch?
I loved mimic. I was a mimic from a very young age.
Yeah.
I found that I could get my octave range into the range of other performers that I admired. I grew up loving Mel Blanc, and by the time I was 12 and got to make radio days, I listened to all of the old radio plays, and that just became a thing that I strove for. And so at a very young age, I started doing commercials and cartoons, and I don't know, that's always been a passion of mine.
Now, I was reading about and it's interesting to me that you would listen to old radio teleplays. I guess when I met you as a young man, you were even an older soul in a way then, if you were researching that. But I see on your list of things is Rowan Atkinson and the Blackadder and Python. I went away on a vacation, did not know him before this, but the other person who invited me, 2 weeks at the furthest you can go in Antarctica before you hike on a boat with Michael Palin.
Oh, wow.
And I'm telling you, for a Python person, can you imagine? I would just sit there at his knee, and I didn't want to be like a creep and like pick too much where they think I got to put a restraining order on this kid. But I was getting Python like directly into the vein. It was absolutely beautiful. What did you love about him as young man? Just the anarchy, the chaos of it?
Well, I had never seen anything like it. When I first started watching Python, I was very young, and we got things like Benny Hill or Fawlty Towers on, you know, the UHF channels. And the first time I saw Flying Circus, it was like a revelation to me. And the more I hear them talk about it, the more you see that it's just these aristocratic intellectuals being as silly as they possibly can. It's the most culturally subversive comedy just by being ridiculous. It plays on the most basic of human traits, and then it just is never afraid to be completely foolish. And that was hugely inspiring to me. Like, I always say that Robot Chicken is as similar to Flying Circus as anything could be. Just the short form bursts of comedy, like little bits of a through line, but mostly very madcap and sort of loving, foolish interpretations of culture.
Yeah, the vivisection of the swells has always been a great comedy trope, and they did that.
I got to work with John Cleese on Rat Race, and I did the same thing. I tried desperately not to act insane, but at one point he was in the makeup chair, and I was behind him, and I was like, "Hey, John, I just got to tell you that you've been one of the most profound influences on me, and I just wanted to let you know that all the stuff you did with all your friends was some of the greatest thing that ever happened." And then I ran out of the trailer, and I was like, I can't even believe I said that. Why would I say that? And he was so cool. He came out of the trailer later. We were filming in this hospital thing, and there was a big field in the middle of it. And he was like, "Hey, do you want to kick this soccer ball around?" And it didn't make me feel weird or stupid for having said it.
Out in the field of dreams.
Just hung out and like kicked a soccer ball around for half an hour. It was amazing.
Never miss a beat. Subscribe to Larry King now and watch new episodes every day.